Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Math is Easy, step by step. So in this part 69 video, I'm going to be solving one-step equations with fractions. And one thing I want to review before we even get started is this variable of x or y or z or any symbol in algebra represents a real number. We just don't know what that real number is, right? So what real number plus 1/2 equals 3/4? Sometimes it's easy to guess and check and see. Sometimes it's a little more difficult and you have to perform what's called inverse operations or opposite operations, right? My goal is to get x all by itself. So I have to eliminate this 1/2 in the equation to get x all by itself. Now, after I find the value of x and I solve for x, I can substitute that value for x, perform the arithmetic shown, then one side, the left side of the equal sign, will equal the right side in checking my answer, knowing I had the correct value for x. So I'm going to do that at the conclusion of this particular problem. I'm going to show you how to check your answers. Hey, let's get started. We got x plus 1/2 equals 3/4. What's the first step we want to take to getting x all by itself? All right, so the first step is to turn that 1/2 into 0, right? So step 1, we're going to subtract 1/2 to both sides of the equal sign, right? So 1/2 plus a negative 1/2 is 0. But what I do to the left side, I got to do to the right side. Let's take a look. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so the inverse of a positive 1/2, or the opposite of a positive 1/2, is a negative 1/2. So I can add 1/2 plus a negative 1/2 to get 0, like you see below here. But what you do on the left side of the equal sign, you also have to do on the right side. You got to keep it balanced, right? So 3/4 plus a negative 1/2, all right? So 1/2 plus a negative 1/2 is 0. Can you add these two values? I want to show you here. I'm putting a plus sign in between these two terms. You can put a plus sign between any two terms. It's not going to change a thing. This is a positive 3/4 fraction term, and this is a negative 1/2 fraction term. So 3/4 plus a negative 1/2. Can you add these two fractions? And if not, why? All right, so if you've been watching my videos from part 1 all the way through this part 69 video, then you understand you cannot add or subtract fractions unless this bottom number, the denominator, is the same. So they're not the same. So what I need to do is find the common denominator and multiply both top and bottom by that number. So 4 and 2 go to the top of my t-chart. I'm going to multiply both times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. And so 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 8 plus 4, which is 12. 4 times 4 is 12 plus 4, which is 16. And 4 times 5 is 16 plus 4 more, which is 20. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 8 plus 2 more, which is 10. So you can see here they both share a product that's answer to a multiplication problem of 8. But there's a smaller value they both share, and it's 4. I multiply 4 times 1, top and bottom, and I'm going to multiply 2 times 2, which gives me 4, top and bottom. All right, let's go ahead and take a look, see what that looks like. So 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3. Plus, again, you can put a plus sign between any two terms. It's not going to change a thing. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. And it's a negative, so don't forget to bring that negative sign down. Now you can see our common denominators are the same, right? Or the denominators, 4 and 4, are the same. 4 is our common denominator. Once that bottom number is the same, you can add or subtract those top numbers. So 3 plus negative 2. You have $3. You let your friend borrow $2, represented by the negative 2. How many dollars do you still have? All right, if you said 3 plus a negative 2 is 1, you're absolutely correct. And the denominator 4 stays 4. So x equals 1/4 is our answer. Hey, let's check our answer now. Okay, so in order to check your answer, you need to take the original problem from the beginning. X plus 1/2 equals 3/4. Now we know the value of x is 1/4, so I can substitute 1/4 for x. 1/4 plus 1/2 equals 3/4. Well, the denominators here are not the same. Again, you cannot add or subtract unless these bottom numbers or the denominator is the same. So I have to manipulate one of those fractions in order to add those two fractions. All right, so you see here, if I multiply 2 times 2, I'll get 4, and then the denominators will be the same. When I do the bottom, I got to do to the top. So 2 times 2 is 4. You see that over here. 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm just going to rewrite 1/4 plus equals 3/4 after I do that. Now I can add 1 plus 2 gives me 3. The 4 stays the same and equals 3/4. So does 3/4 equal 3/4? Does one side equal the other? Then yes. Check that off. Our answer is x equals 1/4. X equals 1/4, just like you see here. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Stick around. I got a bunch more examples of one step. Then we're going to do some two-step equations with fractions. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. If I've helped you, please help me to help others. Like, follow, share, subscribe.